This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world. As Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome, America! Again, I do want to welcome a new affiliate to the Home Talk USA radio network in the Invent America show. We have WDDQ 92.1 FM. That's out in the Adel, Valdosta, Moultrie, Tifton, Nashville, Georgia markets. I want to thank old Jack Ring, who's the program director for getting our show to the area of the Georgia markets out there. So thank you so much. And again, I'd like to welcome my co-hosts. We call her the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, again, it seems I just talked to you again.
I know. I was going to say the same thing. It's like it is amazing how fast a week goes by. Ooh. And you know, our inventors are so excited. I was talking to a gentleman who I'm getting lined up for next week, and he was so excited. He goes, "I can't believe you actually called me." So our inventors are learning and happy and grateful to share the products that they're getting into the marketplace. But it's so much fun. It just goes by so fast.
Yeah. Now, we're going to talk about guarding your money. This is what this episode's about, right? Yes, it is.
And for so many, money is, it once it's gone, you can't get it back. And so I get so many inventors, Michael, that say, you know, I started out with a budget, but I spent it here and I spent it there. So we're going to talk today about how to avoid some of those mistakes that get made early on because you can't get it back.
Setting a good plan of action, and a good budget comes with a good plan, or a good plan comes by making a budget. I don't know how you want to word it, I guess.
Well, I guess, you know, I've had people downloading the Inventor's Galaxy Guide, which goes through the phases of, I have an idea, what do I do, to getting it into the marketplace with the pendulum swing of the dollars involved. So many of my inventors, they'll spend just a ton of money on the patent because it's the first step. So they'll spend the money on there, and then they don't have any money left for making the prototypes. And so, you know, I had an inventor spend $10,000 on a provisional patent. Well, they should be a fraction of that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, all right, your money, you know, the patent is actually the least expensive part of this whole thing. So when I get somebody who says, oh, my God, I spent this much money on the patent, it's like, get a different attorney because you needed that money down the road. The prototypes are more expensive. The marketing is more expensive.
And if you get an unscrupulous attorney that's taking advantage legally, though, the problem is legally, you could really take you to the cleaners because you know, if you listen to this show, we do have a way where you can do an inexpensive certified protection patent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just when one of the attorneys I work with, because I work with several, when they do a full patent, the non-provisional or the utility patent, it's synonymous, it runs somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000.
Yeah.
The provisional is the front half. Yeah. When I get an inventor says, well, I spent $50,000 on my patent, it's like,
wow,
you should have been able to get to the marketplace for that, so find a different attorney.
Yeah.
And it just makes me crazy because that's early money now that you don't have to spend on the prototype. So, when we talk about the first money that an inventor spends, it's on the search, a good, independent, comprehensive search. Now, it's a conflict of interest for the attorney to do the search. They don't want you to tell the inventor that.
Yeah.
But they really want to write the patent. They don't want to do the search. And inventors don't want to pay an attorney billable time to search through a database.
You got it.
That'd be crazy. So, what we do is the comprehensive independent search. It's $500. And then the inventor looks at it first. That allows the inventor then to frame the conversation with the attorney, not the attorney to frame the conversation with you.
Yeah. And that starts the road right there, that first part.
Yeah, and both of our inventors guests today were self-funded. So, they're both selling product in the marketplace.
Oh.
So they've got stories to tell, cool products, and they really learned it the hard way, but just, that self-motivated, one step at a time. And, I'm going to let Chris tell everybody how much she spent because that'd just make your eyes roll back in your head.
So our first guest is who? Hilary O'Hare with Holdi-Locks?
With Holdi-Locks. And if she's not available right now, we're going to give Chris a call. But either Hilary or Chris is going to be our first guest. Yeah,
I think she just texted me, though. She will be available in about 5 minutes, so we got her. So, good.
Excellent. That's good, because I know she was real excited to be on, and I had met her because she filled out the form.
Wow.
Went to the website, filled out the form there to be on the show, and I was able to give her a call, visit her website, check in with her about what she's done in the past. And it's like, she's got a good product for ladies, and she's got a great, website and experience because she's done things a little bit differently than some of our normal inventors.
Well, it's good to pick the brain of the companies and the inventors that already went down that path,
It is, and they've got so much to share, and, they're more than willing to talk about the mistakes they feel they made so other inventors don't make the same mistakes. And it's, for a lot of inventors out there, we know there are millions of people that have ideas, and they just don't know what is the first step to take.
Yeah.
Without risking their money or, sometimes their mortgage on their house. So it's really a matter of getting them the good steps to start with so that they can, have that next great idea.
I remember telling you a while back that, when I go to these trade shows and talk to some of these young inventors that really invested a lot of money, there's a lot of them that don't even know how they're going to get home.
I know. And speaking of that, I had a guy selling a Corvette to pay for his,
trade shows, and we talked about that last week, trade shows are very expensive. Very expensive.
They can be.
They can be.
Yes, they certainly can be.
But if you carpool your stuff and do what you do and get a whole bunch of them in one booth, and it kind of cuts the cost. But, hey, there's the music. Got to step away. We're up against a hard break right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Don't forget to check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. This is episode 1032 and counting. And, hey, we're getting very close to that milestone. So right here, along with my co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, we're going to take a short break, pay some bills. Got to pay the bills. Hear from some of our great sponsors. Check them out at HomeTalkUSA.com. HomeTalkUSA.com. Me and the Inventor Lady will be right back. Yay!
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HometalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HometalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the Invent America segment of Home Talk USA, where we feature young inventors, our established inventors, where we kind of educate you, guide you, advise you on how to proceed if you do have a product idea, how to get it to market. And Rita, who's our guest?
Our first guest today is Hilary O'Hare. She is the inventor of Holdi-Locks, which I just thought was the cutest thing. So great name, by the way, Hilary. And thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
So you always had long hair, and you had a passion for hairstyling, but it was putting it up when you had to go to work or go and do something that inspired you when you finally found that 3D printing where you could experiment with the perfect solution for keeping your hair out of the way. So tell us a little bit about Holdi-Locks and what it really does.
Yeah, I've done perms all my life, and it's sort of a hybrid perm and like a soft roller. What it does is it latches, which is the secret. It instead of just folding over or hooking, it has a latch system to keep it much more secure, and it's also combinable. You can put two together to make a stiffer roll, so you can roll lots of hair. And I also improvised it so that you could decorate it and pin it on the outside. So it's a multi-purpose hairstyling solution that, it took a little thought. It was like...
I'm sure it did. Well, you've gone through the process now where you're actually, you've gone through the patenting and the designing and getting products out there, and you're in that marketing, selling mode. So, and we're talking about money today and how expensive this entire process can be. How are you able to manage then the costs of getting the product teed up?
Well, I've got excellent credit, and I've taken out personal loans. I've taken out equity on my home, which I recently sold for, a profit. I just moved into a place that's paid for, so I don't have any bills or anything. And that's what's helping me through the process, is because there's really no help out there. You just do it all yourself, and it's all bootstrapped.
I've had a lot of inventors say, well, where can I go and borrow money? And it's like, yeah, your first option is the 3 Fs, friends, families, and other fools. And if you don't have them, it's tough. I had one guy sold his Corvette to pay for his invention.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, that's a little, it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, you do what you got to do to get your product out there, and that's why I think for a lot of inventors, when they can license it, they prefer to, because it's not as much money out of their pocket for the manufacturing and the selling when they can license it. But for somebody that, is looking to start and run a business off of it, you've done a lot of the good things.
Yeah, it's been, kind of like hit and miss. I try to get help, but unfortunately, a lot of the help isn't really at my level or a different, or they're not even really help. It's like, so I ended up making my mistakes, and then I had to find my way back into the process, and then I just got to the point where it was better off just doing it all myself instead of reaching out for help, because I kept getting, ran on the wrong track, if you want to say. It just didn't.
Yeah, during all your steps here, what do you think was your biggest surprise?
Biggest surprise?
Yeah. What was the thing that's like, whoa, did not see that coming?
Marketing cost, I kind of thought that it would have been more of an attractive product for, getting on as seen on TV or something like that. And, it just kind of shocked me that it seemed like it wasn't getting any interest until I kept sinking more money in. The more money I sunk into it, the more interest people have in it. So it's like, I just don't know. I mean, it was kind of hard to explain because hair is kind of a personal thing, I guess. And some people with shorter hair don't really realize that us people with longer hair really don't want to cut our hair. And a lot of people that have medium-length hair would love to grow longer hair, but they just can't because everything else tangles their hair. And now they're finding out that my product doesn't do that. I had some influencers that can testify to that it's a very gentle and it's a protective hairstyling. It's not just put it in your hair and getting it out's your problem. No, mine comes out smoothly. I mean, I've had some things in my hair before that it took, surgery to get it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've been on Modern Living with Kathy Ireland. You're going to be on The World's Greatest. And so you're selling all over the U.S., Europe, and Canada. So you've been doing something right, for sure.
Yeah, I just kind of have my website. I ended up doing that myself. I hired somebody to do it, and then I ended up having to finish it. That's kind of like the story of my inventing life, is if I hire somebody, I got to finish it anyways because they're not going to do it. And so I've learned my way, around it. I'm still struggling with, like, a lot of the Google terminology and how to implement it into my website because there's so many steps to all of it. There's a lot of it involved, from the tag manager, the merchant, and all that stuff. So I'm starting to get it.
I know.
Yeah, right. I'm starting to get it built.
That.
Here, let me chime in right quick. We definitely want to thank you. We're just simply out of time.
All right.
Give us that website. How can we learn more about Holdi-Locks?
Yeah, it's just like Goldilocks, but with an H. HOLDILOCKS.co. And it's easy as that.
Just spell it out. HOLDILOCKS.
Right.
Right.
.co. No com, just CO. Yeah,
gotcha.
CO.
Well, thank you, Hilary, for being our guest, and we're going to have to take a short break. And, hey, drop us a line from now and then. Let us know how you keep doing, okay? And we'd love to share your story, and it was a great story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful week. All right,
Bye-bye, Hilary.
We're going to step back a little bit. Please visit our website at HomeTalkUSA.com for all the information on Home Talk USA radio program and the Invent America show. Also, anything you want to learn about the Inventor Lady herself is on our website. But hey, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with our next guests. So me and the Inventor Lady will be right back. Stay tuned. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. All right, Rita, who's our guest?
Our guest for this segment is Chris Rassmussen. He is the inventor of Crazy Dad's Mini-Spatula and the owner of Crazy Dad's Pet and Kitchen Products. So, Chris, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're quite welcome. Glad to join you.
So, you did tell me kind of what you're into this product for. So first, tell us about the product, and then I'm going to ask you the key question.
Sure. So I've never not had CAD. And after going through CAD after CAD and can after can, I must have gone into about 10 to 20,000 cat food cans. And all of a sudden it dawned on me that I should get a spatula that would actually fit inside of a cat food can. And I looked all over the planet for them and could not find them. So I ended up designing my own. So,
like many good inventors do. Me make my own self, as my grandson would tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was my first customer, and I started off by getting a really bad hard plastic spatulas, which are basically typical for what you find on the internet. And I started cutting them down, and I started figuring out what size and what shape and that kind of thing. And then I went to my attorney, started work on a patent, and started to pay for a designer. And we eventually, within a year, were able to successfully get a product that was useful and bring it to market.
Well, excellent. Now, you had told me in one of our conversations that you just spent a truckload of money getting this from I have an idea or I need this to the marketplace. What would you do differently?
Yeah, so I dropped probably $100,000 so far, and part of it is due to the fact that I really wanted to honor my parents, both of whom were masters in the kitchen. So they were great kitchen chefs and cooks and all that. And we learned everything from them. And I first of all, I would recommend very carefully about choosing whether you want to proceed during the patent phase. So I started off thinking I could just get a patent and go to market and be protected and all of that. It cost me $30,000. And when everything had all shaken out, turns out I didn't get the types of protections that I really wanted. Ended up getting the patent, but it was only for a particular feature of the spatula that I was, or the spatulas that I ended up designing.
All right. So, yeah, it does make a difference. We've had a lot of shows about patents and different types of intellectual property, and we've got more coming up because it's an important phase, but it really, the one that we had on, it's like, the gentleman asked me, and he goes, well, I've got a patent now on an algorithm, and it's like, it was obsolete before the attorney got done with it. So you're right in the fact that, that can be a fluctuating item when you're looking at how the pendulum swings on what step is next. What other advice do you have for our audience?
Yeah, so there's certain, obviously you covered patents quite extensively, I'm sure. There's design patents, which are easily navigated around. I went for a utility patent, so that was sort of it, the main thing. So the other thing was that I was an entrepreneur at heart. So I like to have people doing work for me and with me, and I ended up outsourcing way more than I should have. So I ended up outsourcing someone to set up and run my Amazon listing, including ads and that kind of thing. And it cost me between $5,000 and $10,000 to do that. It probably lasted about 6 months or so. And he was a very good person. It just turns out that he didn't manage the money probably as well as he would have managed his own money. And so I dropped out of that relationship. And then I started to work with a social media marketing-oriented agency and spent about $1,000 a month there. And they did very, very good work, but it just didn't translate into sales the way that I thought it might. So that
you're saying all of the things that I did wrong as well. And I knew that, when I was going through, it was like, okay, I did that one, and I knew it was wrong after the money was spent. And you did that one, too, after the money was spent. And, it's so easy to, make a missed call. And that's one of the things that we're trying to share with all of our listeners who are, going through these different phases, like, don't really want to do it that way. Let's do it this way.
Right, and the only other thing that I really dropped a lot of money in is I ended up going through 3 different designers, not for this particular product, but for my upcoming set of 6 additional products that I've got in the works. It just took so long and so many revisions and changes and whatnot, and a lot of which were my designer's fault, not my fault. Some of which, of course, were changes that I made, which, of course, I take full responsibility for. I probably could have saved $20,000 in design costs if I had found the right designer first. So that was the final thing, the final hurdle that I've overcome.
Yeah, Rick, excuse me, let me chime in a second. It's like that Elvis song, I'm caught in a trap and I can't get out.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it, yes. And there's a lot of company in that trap.
Well, there's the there's the music right there. That's my cue to say, hey, we have to go take a break and pay some bills here. Hey, Chris, do you have a website about Crazy Dad's Mini-Spatula?
Sure. People can find out about the Crazy Dad's Mini-Spatula and how it works because there's a live video or 2 on the homepage at crazydadsstore.com.
Say it one more time.
It's crazydadsstore.com. And there's only 1 S in there. So.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with another guest, another topic right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. This is the Invent America radio program here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Me and the Inventor Lady is going to be right back. Don't go nowhere.
To Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. Don't forget, we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com. All right, Rita, I'm looking forward to talking to this next guest, Scott Tarcy. He's got a tremendous story, and you've probably used his help in the past. So I guess he's our next guest, huh?
He is our next guest, and I am so pleased to introduce everyone to Scott Tarcy because he is one of our sponsors for Invent America. And he's the president of CAD Design Help.com. He's based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but he works with people, inventors all over the world, and specializes in 2D and 3D CAD work. So, Scott, thank you so much for being one of our sponsors, and I am looking forward to just sending you a ton of new clients.
Awesome. Look forward to talking to you.
Yes. So you've got, not only do you do the design work, but you've got over 50 products of your own in the marketplace.
That's correct.
So back in the day, before rapid prototyping, inventors had to just go right to a mold, and if they made a mistake, it was very, very costly. We had one years ago where they were about an eighth of an inch off before it became a choking hazard, and she had to throw away 5,000 units and go back and have them all done again. So the 3D printing has really saved inventors a lot of angst in getting their product ready to go, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, unless your product is really big, you could start selling your 3D prints as market validation, or even making a mold at all, just as, just for that part alone. And then obviously for design validation, that's a massive thing you can get done as well.
Well, you're an important step for the inventors after, I tell them you do their own version of their prototype, duct tape and cardboard. Legos does some pretty good stuff. So does, Play-Doh. But, once they've kind of gotten it out of their head and they have fine-tuned it as much as they can, you're the next step. And when inventors miss that, then they can be like our last guest and spend a ton of money with designers where they could have, gone through that rapid prototype process with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working with somebody who doesn't know manufacturing, then you could make some design on a computer that really can't even get made at all. I mean, maybe it can be made by 3D printing, but if you reach any kind of volume, then you'll never be able to make a profit because cost per unit of 3D printing is too high, at scale. So, yeah, it's really important when you work with a designer that they know how to make things for different manufacturing methods.
Right, and a lot of inventors don't understand that difference between the sexy prototype and the manufacturer's prototype. So being able to have access to someone like you who helps them understand those stages is really important. What do you need from an inventor to get started with them?
I typically ask 5 questions, so I'll read them off for you here. Hold on. I haven't written my phone. I don't have them all memorized, but I know of it here. Second. All right, so first question, what it is and the problem it solves. That's the first thing I need to know, because typically you're solving some type of problem.
Right.
A sketch or a picture. You can go to Google Images, but I need some kind of visual. A lot of people try to just describe it in 2 paragraphs or a page of words, and it's really hard to interpret that in terms of what you want that to look like. And so some kind of picture is necessary. We need to know about the important features. So if it's got to withstand certain forces, if it's being used in a certain environment, temperatures, these are all important things because it's going to dictate materials and a lot of times thicknesses and different aspects. And then we need to know, some dimensions and sizes. Most people, I would say, err on not giving me enough. I did have one client who gave me crazy measurements down to like the 8th decimal place, which is just like, it doesn't even matter at that point because no one can even manufacture something that precisely. But he's the exception to the rule. Most people would probably not give me enough versus too much.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Your information and your contact information will all be put up on the website so people can get in touch with you.
All right, great.
Yeah, thank you so much again on behalf of the Invent America show, Scott, for coming aboard and putting out that great information and supporting this show. Thank you again, my friend.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Scott Tarcy. He's president of the CAD Design Help.com. Please visit their website. Well, we're going to come back. Me and Rita's going to wrap up. Got some breaking news and a lot going on, and she's going to also have some information. If you have a product out there you'd like to try to get to the market, what's the steps of even getting on this show? We're going to be right back, so stay tuned right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network, streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com. This is episode, and we're counting 1032. Me and the Inventor Lady will be right back. Don't go nowhere. Yay!
To Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com. Rita, this is the part of the show where we always like to maybe educate, got some news to share. If somebody's sitting home, what's the process to get on the show, or the process in trying to get their product to market?
Well, easiest thing to do is go to the Inventor Lady website. The form says right there, would you like to be on the show? You click on it, fill it out. It drops right into my email box, and then I can call you. The other thing is that join us at the Inventor Roundtable meetings. It's kind of like the call-in version of the show. You can talk to other inventors around the country. We answer questions. It's free, so that's always a good thing. Also, you can download the Inventor's Galaxy Guide. It's about a 30-minute read that talks about the different steps and the costs that go into getting a product into the marketplace. So there's a ton of information on the Inventor Lady website, along with all the different streaming platforms that we're on and all the shows that we have done.
Well, that about does it, Rita. There it goes. Thank you so much again. Till next week, on behalf of the Inventor Lady herself and the Cajun contractor Michael King, yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of Instabind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!